Good morning, everyone. This is Fraser, the head coach of Noble Life. Now, I want to jump on and talk to you guys about prioritisation. It's something that a lot of people are a little bit confused about, and they don't even realise that they are confused about it. So, first of all, I want to tell you guys about something I was very guilty of when I was working in the oil industry. And that was prioritising my work first, which is not good. And it's something that so many people still do today. So, there might be something happening where my girlfriend at the time might have planned a nice dinner or something like that. And I would have said, right, yeah, I'll come if I can get finished work on time. I will do it if my work allows. I'm sure that sounds very familiar to many people. 9 times out of 10, something would happen that I would end up staying later. It's like the post I posted yesterday where I saw the memory on Facebook of me saying, first time I've finished this early in 3 weeks. And it was posted at 7:30 p.m. and I'm thinking, why would I have thought that was a good thing? Now, without going into that section of it again, the irony of that is that even as I say that, I know a lot of people, especially here in Singapore and in Hong Kong and in KL and a lot of the other big cities where things can get extremely hectic, they're thinking 7:30, that's not that late, Fraser. I work way later than that. Great. So you're proving my point that you're actually within that bracket of thinking it's a badge of honour. That is not a good thing. Working long hours is not a badge of honour. As well as what I was talking about yesterday, it's also a mistake in prioritisation. Now, I know that the story I was telling myself at the time was I'm prioritising my work because it makes me money. And when I make money, I'm able to live a better life for me and my family and my loved ones. Seems fairly, that reason's got legs. You can have a look at that and say, yeah. That makes sense, Fraser, yeah. Some of you might even be going, yeah, of course, that's why I do it. Okay. But when you prioritise your work over everything else, and you start to neglect your loved ones. I know for me, in that exact situation, my girlfriend at the time started to feel like I was neglecting her because I was always at work, I was always travelling, I was always late because I was prioritising work. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that here, but effectively, long story short, all of her actions and my actions stemmed from the fact that I was prioritising work over my loved ones. When your health starts to suffer, it's the same damn thing. What ends up happening is you think to yourself that work is more important. You start to put on a bit of weight, no big deal, just aesthetics. When you start to put on weight, that's your body telling you that you've got an excess of calories and it doesn't know what to do with that excess energy, so it stores it as fat. If you were a hunter-gatherer, if you were running around the jungle or the fields, yes, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It means when you go through times where you don't have easily ready food, you've got fuel. But that's not where we are in life right now, guys. Where we are now is that's telling ourselves that, yeah, we're maybe eating more than we're burning. And a lot of people's go-to move on that will say, well, just eat less, or just burn more. Or both. Maybe you're eating too much and moving too little. It kind of is just that simple, to be honest, guys. The problem is with everything that's simple is that the execution can sometimes be a lot harder. Now, let's go further down the line there. This pattern of putting work first ends up getting worse. You end up getting health issues because you've neglected yourself. This is when it becomes important to understand one of the tools that we use, and that is the Eisenhower matrix. I like to use this one because it's a very effective tool and it highlights this point quite well. And quite frankly, if it worked for a man like Eisenhower in the times that he was living in, it can work for us. And that's effectively 4 quadrants. The 4th quadrant is not important, not urgent. These things are like going down for a pub quiz, trivial things that are enjoyable but not really required. Then you've got the third quadrant, which are things that are not that important but urgent. These are things like these extremely long meetings that you go to that nobody really says anything, but you're required to be at them. They're urgent, but they're not really that important. Then you've got the 2nd quadrant, which is not urgent but important. Then you've got the 1st quadrant, which is important and urgent. Now, this is where people get mixed up. They put their health, they put their relationships, their family, into the 2nd quadrant because they think that they will wait. Their health will wait. It's important, yes, but it's not urgent in their mind. Everything ends up in the 1st quadrant when you put it off. Everything. So when you neglect your wife or your husband and you think they'll be there waiting, eventually, when the divorce papers come down, that becomes urgent to work with. But by then, it's going to be hard work to try and recover it. Same with your health. When you know it's important but you neglect it because you don't think it's urgent, you will neglect it to the point that it does become urgent. When you get diagnosed with gout, with diabetes, with obesity, and you need to do something about it for the immediate health, because your body's going to stop working, because you've been diagnosed with heart disease, and you know that if you don't do something, you're going to die, then all of a sudden it becomes extremely important. See where I'm going with this, guys? If you neglect yourself, you will not be operating optimally. Eventually it will become urgent and you'll need to do something about it. If you looked after yourself from the very beginning, you would be able to optimize yourself completely, meaning that the time you spent in work would be a lot more fruitful. You'd probably get more done in a smaller amount of time. The time you spend with your loved ones would be more fruitful. They would enjoy your company more, you would enjoy theirs more, because you would be in a better place both physically and mentally. I don't think I really need to harp on about that point much longer. I think everybody's able to see how important looking after your vehicle in life is. The problem is they don't think about it. And my hope is that just by telling you guys this, you'll actually be thinking about this and start to do something about it. Now, this prioritization is one of the first things that we drive home within the Noble Life coaching system. This is one of the first things we do when we start to talk about the worldview we have. And then when we start to talk about the code, we start getting really honest about how our lives are actually going and what we are doing. The Eisenhower matrix is just one of the very many tools, that we use to clarify that within yourself. Then when we move into the core 4, we actually start working on it with the daily work required to ensure you are continuously improving and growing and evolving within yourself. Now, any of you guys have watched my videos before, I've spoke ad nauseum what we do within the coaching system. But if you've not heard it, please join our group on Facebook or reach out to me directly, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys about that. But the long and short of it is that our mission is to help men and women who are living this hectic, busy lifestyle where they feel like they're drowning or they feel like they can't get things done. Now, I'm not talking about people that are just cutting out parts of their life. I'm talking about people that know they're not looking after themselves, that know things could be better in their relationships, that know they could be working more optimally. And we give them the tools and the coaching and the support to finally get everything in balance and take back control of their lives so that they can live a noble life. And with that said, guys, have a great day ahead, and I will talk to you all really soon. Cheers.